Hey there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies here at Beacon Hill Park in Victoria. And just on Monday of this week, Bradley Morris and I led Pre-Sales Magic, the art of the slow launch. And during it, somebody pointed out that we hadn't done any kind of land acknowledgement. And well, there's a lot to be said about land acknowledgements. And I suppose a personal frustration I have is how perfunctory they've become. They become this rote thing with no feeling in it that doesn't feel like it really does the honor that it's supposed to do. But I suppose it hadn't really occurred to us because, well, number one, it's easy to forget these things, but number two, it's on Zoom. And I think maybe only one or two other people of the 56 who signed up, 52 of them were on the call. I think only one or two of them were in Victoria, and so everyone else is living somewhere else. So what does the land acknowledgement mean? And Jason Gill, bless him, he put in the land acknowledgement that they've worked out for the Sunset Labs, the venue we were using. And the truth is, and this is not to my credit, I mean, this really probably should have been the first thing I did when I got to Victoria was, I mean, I know I'm on Songhees Nation land, but there's a lot I don't know about the history of the people in the place. I suppose I didn't know how long I'd be here. And so, well, for all the reasons, I found myself in the situation when it was asked for not being able to deliver it, which I suppose is not so uncommon in modern society. Most of us, if someone said, could you do the land acknowledgement for the place you're in, could not. But it also occurred to me that given that Jason had named the ones who should properly be named, that there was another kind of acknowledgement that needed to happen. And it just came to me entirely complete, whole cloth. It kind of landed, and so I want to offer it to you as something that may be something worth doing. And I said, look, it would have been proper to do the land acknowledgement, and I can't for this place, but what I would like to do, thank you, Jason, for doing that, but I'd like to do the landless acknowledgement. We're here on Zoom, this landless place. There's no land here. We're in the placeless place in virtual reality on the internet, where we're spending more and more of our time. But this landlessness that we're experiencing is built out of the land. This camera I'm looking into, and even this phone right now, it's made out of the land. The plastic comes from somewhere, the metal comes from somewhere, and probably all different places given the way globalization is. It was not taken in a good way. It was not honored. The world that it was made out of was not regarded as alive by the people who did it. And of course, it's not just the devices we have, it's mostly the devices we don't see. There are the cell towers made out of the earth. There are all the banks of servers, dear God, made out of the earth. And then it's more than that. It's the power stations and batteries and solar panels to power this monstrosity of the internet. It's all of that, and that's all made out of the earth. And I don't say this to make you feel guilty, but hopefully to make you feel more. That it asks something of us. It asks us to do something while we're on this landless place that is worthy of the land it was made out of. It asks, privilege is not bad. Privilege is not the enemy. But privilege does burden you with an obligation to become worthy of that privilege, to do something worthy of it. If you receive a privilege that you didn't earn and that privilege costs something else, you are now obligated to those ones that it cost. and to make sure that a similar cost is not exacted on other people. So I said we're asked to make sure that the world benefits more from us being on this than it costs the world, and that's a lot to ask. So I just wanted to acknowledge the land that, we're not standing on, but somehow being beamed through. So I said it was something like that. I can't remember the exact words, but it struck me that this is something we could begin to do, is to do a landless acknowledgement, or a land acknowledgement of a different kind. Not for everything, but maybe for some of the bigger things, the beginning of summits, the beginning of day-long workshops. Maybe not for every half-hour Zoom call, but something we could begin to start attending to. And maybe something we should all be learning something more about, just like I should, if I'm going to stay here longer, learn more about this place and this land. And we should all learn something about the places that we live and the history of it. That we should be learning something about this landlessness that we're experiencing now and what it's costing the land everywhere. So that's a thought, share it, do with it what you will. And anyways, my gratitude to you all in this landless place watching this video. Thank you so much for all the work you're doing. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of you, doing puttering sessions with some of you in my membership program. Sometimes I get emails from some of you, which I really do appreciate. And thank you. Thanks for, paying the most precious thing that you have, your attention. And thanks for everyone who's shared these videos up in Facebook groups. Thanks for everyone who's, you're following me on Facebook and email lists. Dear God, there's plenty of things you could be doing with your time and attention, and none of us need more emails. None of us need more time online. So I feel a similar burden with you paying attention to make sure that these videos and everything I do is worthy of your time, and I hope it is. So, anyways, my good regard to you, and all willing, we'll actually get to meet on some real land. And maybe, if we're real lucky, somebody in our midst will know the story of that place and be able to tell us.